Hello everyone, and welcome back to Deadly Premonition, the game that crashes all the bloody time. So, in the last episode, Diane was almost murdered. Almost. Then she started doing stupid things. And then Nick did stupid things, and now she's dead. Right. Because... yeah. People are stupid. So we're trusting the dark right now. You know, the dark that stole all my bones last time. But I did get a Magnum out of it, so... and I am a fan of this Magnum. Anyway. What? What's up? Is Timmy under the floorboard? No, seriously, where are we going? Pew. Why am I shooting darts at the dark? Yeah, yes, we know there's blood. We can see that. No, seriously, where are we going? Okay, yeah. We're going over here. Okay. The door's unlocked. Good. We're probably going to our office. Yeah. Yeah, I would hope if I could open the door. What's that? I have to actually wait for the door to tell me to open the door? Sure, why not? Okay, so we've seen in the thing that there was something put here. Is the door going to notify us of that? No, the door's going to notify us that we should go through this door. Okay. Uh-huh. I'm on to you, game. Why is there a sapling here? Wait, is Kaysen down now?
Willie, are you out there?
Kaysen, what are you doing in there?
That is a very
York,
good
is that you?
question.
Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kaysen, stand away from the door.
Kaysen, what have you been up to?
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment
Yeah,
ago.
this is an investigation.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane. to have a conversation.
Right,
And I suppose that
conversation.
kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out. Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by.
So Diane was going to bang the fat guy. But
Well, then
she
I couldn't
decided she
wait
might
anymore,
bang
so I
Nick
let
instead.
Willie here out through the window. Then you showed up instead of Diane.
Zach, Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
No shit.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the
Nick is
death of
completely
Diane really
useless.
badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art. But he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together. But while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kaysen looks like a prime suspect. But that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room. Which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now. One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed. I guess this case is really getting to him. He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him? I wonder what's
That's right.
left.
He did sort of
Well,
murder
of course,
Becky.
he'd still have muscle.
Remember, he did sort of murder Becky. I know, I'll cut this rope. Yes, I want to save. I really wish this game had an autosave. Like, every time you open the menu, it autosaves or something. That would help so much.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel. First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea. Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Nah. Nah, we should go. I mean, there's no reason not to.
George, that Scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Well, that explains much.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurts, Mama. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees.
I'm just... George is starting to become more of a suspect in my book from this evidence.
I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the
Murdering
end,
women,
I just figured
putting them
weaker
on
than her.
trees.
That's why. It's the law of Mother
Yeah.
Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
But George doesn't have that
That's right.
tattoo, now does he?
Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both.
Becky, maybe.
You know,
Diane...
it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber. And I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems and not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total
There's the game.
cooperation.
Are you doing this?
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job
He's
protecting
trying
this
to make
town.
good amends with
And the folks
me.
here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
That just makes him more
Thanks.
suspicious in my book.
I do feel a little better.
Because here's the thing, that story... Yeah... That does seem a bit suspicious in my opinion. Okay, I can't go up there and sing. Anyway, let's talk to Carol. We should probably talk to her.
Hey,
Diane
Carol.
was murdered after all.
Becky is dead. Diane, too. We've got
Carol
Nick in
is
custody as a suspect.
Potentially next.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
It would help if you actually showed the image to her.
I'm busy, gotta go.
Dot dot dot. What is with the... Is there water in here or something? Please don't be copyrighted. He has a tad too much mascara on, I think. Well then. Okay, so as I was trying to talk to you, the locket. My brother's at the sheriff's department, isn't he? Poor guy, have to watch over Nick. He didn't even do anything. That doesn't give me the locket. What's in here? That could be a trading card. No. And that was stabilizer. To change my outfit now. What time is it anyway? 22? How is it seriously 2200? It was like 2 AM when I went in. Did I spend an entire day in there? Don't understand. No, I guess I have to go talk to George again.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Emily?
Zack, Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
That's a nice dress.
York? Why is she here?
That's a good question.
I just thought the more the merrier.
Wait,
You know,
I ain't
to
trying to
relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
Yeah, just nonchalantly walk out of that like that.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past. Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. Or I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Leaf pendant.
I had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
Wow, I was totally glitching out now. Well, I guess it's time to head back to the hotel. I'm still a bit confused. Because, yeah, when I went to the hotel, it was definitely train 200. I mean, it was... When I went to this mission, it was train 200. So following there, it probably took me to, like, train 300. And then... From train 3, and then I... wasted time till 2.
Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
So... how was it train 2 again? Do we skip an entire day? I don't understand. But anyway. Oh, so what happened to my car? Like seriously, game? Where's my car? Oh, there's my car. Well, that's good. I was a bit afraid I'd have to actually buy another car.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
Well, I'll join you if you like, but I do need to get that report written.
Yes.
Once you're finished, let's head back to the hotel.
I think we're actually done with chapter 2 now. That was actually a lot shorter than chapter 1. Well, time to review the case, probably.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
That's right. Diane was still alive. This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed,
Well, technically,
which means the criminal was still close by. It was someone near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
It was Kaysen. Yeah, it was Harry. He totally did it.
That's right, Kaysen. We followed Willie, good
Imagine
dog, all the way
we
to
should
him.
probably go talk to Harry at some point.
Kaysen's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did Kaysen hear when he was locked up?
Men's boots.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day,
Lots of people were in boots.
which means it was likely that
George
Diane
was
met
probably
with Nick in her
wearing
room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest.
But how would George even got in there?
Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
No.
Me too.
Yeah.
Usha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer. Remaining leads. There is the locket, which is in Carol's possession,
George probably next.
the man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign.
That one still, I'm not
There's
sure.
a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the coffee. Got to trust in that coffee.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy.
That's...
And he
yeah,
called me
puts him a
York
bit more suspicious.
instead of Agent Morgan.
Yeah, that... yeah. Where am I going? Wait, what?
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly, and baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Seriously, there was no.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child. I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh,
there goes
I'm
the
so
big-
sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends.
I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together.
Yeah, I'm starting to see
Quite
the
aside
picture
from
now.
that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things.
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story.
Yeah, I know, it
But-
totally ruined the mood.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
Zach, do you think Emily got home safely?
And she just left.
Anyway, I
us
think
now.
it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember? Our conversation with Emily.
We just had.
She's
that
really interested in you.
conversation.
I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
If that's
Well,
the
that
case,
was
Zach,
bad.
you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Thomas! Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. One
Let's get all the other guys.
hate it. In here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there. Come on, please. Thomas.
Yeah, that doesn't make me more suspicious or anything.
Thomas. 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 Thomas.
Wait, what? What? Okay, then. I'm confused. I am previously doing that investigation.
Previously during the investigation.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Emily, hurry!
You saved my life.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
It's white this time. Was it white last time? Anyway, episode 3. Next time. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all, and have a nice day.